The Western Cape is struggling to fend off the so-called construction mafia. It says it's lost around 125 housing opportunities and has also lost 160 million rand. Infrastructure MEC Tertuis Simmers has told the legislature that land grabs remain a major concern. The MEC joins us now via Zoom for more on this fight against the so-called construction mafia in the Western Cape. Good afternoon, MEC. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. I mean, how widespread is this issue of the construction mafia in the Western Cape?
Good afternoon to your viewers, brother. No, indeed, the specific areas which is being focused on is mainly within the City of Cape Town jurisdiction. The specific areas is Manenberg and Gugulethu, and which are the most heavily affected because of the syndication, but also land invasions. And as you've rightfully said, costing us 161.7 million rand, losing 125 housing opportunities. That's just within the 22-23 financial year.
And that money was spent, what, on security to mitigate the construction mafia?
No, indeed, we've had to put, reaction units. We've had to have permanent surveillance in some of these areas, which I've just alluded to, which comes obviously at a massive cost to ensure that there's no other further incidents in these specific areas.
Are you winning?
Well, look, at least we've managed to have 8 cases open. I can confirm. We have seen, sadly, though, that some of these sites are now permanently closed, because contractors have walked off site. So unfortunately, we are not winning as we speak, but we are looking at other options to also deal with this in a more sustainable manner, given the massive financial implications to the impact and the detriment of qualifying beneficiaries.
Yeah, so you got land grabs as well. So it's projects that have been stopped or those opportunities that you've lost, but these so-called construction mafia are also taking over land illegally.
No, indeed, we have seen various parcels of land post-COVID-19 also being land grabbed with possibilities of what's called, shack farming, where informal structures are erected and rented out, happening across certain areas in the City of Cape Town, indeed, and it has become a massive, massive problem, given the far-reaching service delivery implications to the City of Cape Town, but also to the provincial branch of human settlements within our Department of Infrastructure. It has massive, massive financial implications.
Yeah, we know, of course, that it's not just a crime that's committed in the Western Cape. Other parts of the country, like in KwaZulu-Natal, for example, are suffering a lot from the activities of this so-called construction mafia. And even the Minister, Sihle Zikalala of Infrastructure and Public Works, has expressed strong words and said there is a plan to try and defeat this. Do you, in the Western Cape, have a comprehensive prevention plan?
No, indeed, we do have a comprehensive plan. It also incorporates key stakeholders, including local government, our ward councillors, our project steering committees across our various projects across the province, but also our neighbourhood watches. It's an all-encompassing plan which we do have, because I think where we might differ from the other provinces is that we do not negotiate with people who act criminally. We do want to have a permanent solution moving forward. Hence, we are welcoming these 8 cases which are already being investigated in the areas that I've alluded to, brother.
Yeah. Have any of your officials suffered at the hands of the construction mafia? I mean, in other parts of the country, we've had people being killed.
No, unfortunately, in 2 of these sites, which is in Gugulethu, 2 of our sites, we actually saw 4 staff members being shot, 1 fatally, but at least he's not deceased, which is also one of the reasons that specific site, is now closed and the contractor walked off site. So indeed, acts of intimidation has occurred, unfortunately, and some of our staff has been affected, and staff of our main contractors on the specific sites as well.
Is there anything you can do now to recover the 125 housing opportunities you say you have lost, or are they gone forever? You have to create new ones?
Well, unfortunately, that is lost forever, given that the 161 million is linked to that, and once we do manage to get those sites open, whenever that may be, and it's secure enough for any contractor who will go onto site, which can take a number of months or even years. So those 125 qualifying beneficiaries that were earmarked for those specific opportunities will now have to, sadly, wait a bit longer Hence, at the moment, it's currently lost within the current financial year.
And you're going to need more budget for that into the future.
Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, but then since 2020, if I include the 3-year cycle which we've observed this, we've spent just under 500 million rand. So this is becoming a very expensive exercise, given that safety and security is not the core mandate of human settlements. So this, we have been engaging the National Department of Human Settlements, given it's a national phenomenon and it has massive and far-reaching implications in terms of our budgets. It's placing a strain on our budgets, given that we're taking away opportunities, and we wanted to find a way to bridge this, to find additional funding to actually speak to this sad living reality, which is now across all 9 provinces in our country.
Yeah, your mandate is not law enforcement, we understand that, but shouldn't you be working closer together, or both sides come up with an integrated plan with the police?
But indeed, with the National Minister, she and I have had these discussions together with my other fellow MECs in the other provinces. In the Western Cape, we've also been engaging the city of Cape Town, because it's so highly prevalent here. And also, we've been working together closely with SAPS, even with their limited resources, to see how we can assist them, hence the expenditure on private security, because really in the Western Cape, SAPS are really stretched to their limit. And hence I also support the call of my other colleague, MEC Regan Allen, for the devolution, so that we can actually prioritize resources effectively where it's the most needed.
Yeah, you said earlier, at this stage you're not winning. What would make you win? What do you think you should focus on going forward to assist you to make sure that you get rid of the so-called construction mafia?
Well, first and foremost, we believe in the whole of society approach, just like we believe in the whole of government approach as the Western Cape government. So based on those 2 beliefs, we're moving forward, we're engaging, building, and also entrusting and asking communities to work with us. Obviously, some of these extortionists are within these communities, and they do, because they act criminally, they do tend to instill a level of fear. So we've created certain platforms through the assistance of the city of Cape Town, but also in the non-metro areas where this is happening at a much lower rate, also to ensure that we secure their identity. And once cases are made, together with our sister department, the Department of Community Safety and Police Oversight, we then follow and track these cases. And, together with private security, of course, which comes at a massive cost, until such time that we do have sufficient police resources in our province, we then beef up and ensure that these sites are monitored and that the construction can happen in a safe manner. But above all, where communities have played their part, I do want to thank them utilizing today's session, because we have seen a massive drop in some of these cases in other areas where it is less prevalent, because the community is working closely with us, together with the CPFs and the neighborhood watches, together with SAPS, in supporting our private security as well.
Okay, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. That's the Western Cape Infrastructure MEC Tertuis Simmers, just sharing with us their efforts in fighting against the so-called construction mafia in their province. Stay with us.